You know, for a long time, I thought grief was only about losing someone to death. But as I've been healing, I learned that grief actually has layers. And a lot of us grieving things we don't even realize we're grieving. Before I go further, I just want to say I'm not a therapist. I'm simply sharing my own healing journey, what I've been learning, and what God has been revealing to me along the way. I also encourage you to pray about it, research, and bring it back to God for yourself. I'm just sharing my testimony in hopes that what helped me might help someone else too. One of the first layers I learned about is betrayal grief. When someone you trusted hurts you, lies to you, chooses differently, or doesn't show up the way you thought they would, you don't just feel pain. You're grieving the trust you gave. You're grieving the relationship you thought you had. You're grieving a version of that person you believed in. And I didn't realize that was grief at first, but it is. Another layer is broken dreams. Sometimes you're grieving a person. Sometimes you're not grieving a person. You're grieving the future you imagined, the family you thought you'll have, the relationship you thought would last, the life you pictured in your heart. When those dreams don't happen, your heart feels the loss deeply. You're grieving what could have been. And then there's letting go of illusions. This one really changed everything for me. That's when God opens your eyes and you realize some people weren't who you thought they were. Some situations weren't healthy. Some love wasn't really love. And even though clarity brings peace, it can still hurt because you're grieving the belief you held on to. You're grieving the hope you had. You're grieving the picture you created in your mind. What I realize is that in some seasons, you're not grieving just one thing. You might be grieving betrayal, broken dreams, and lost illusions all at the same time. And that's why healing can feel so heavy some days. Not because you're weak, not because you're failing, but because layers are being processed. Through this journey, I've learned that God doesn't heal just one thing at one time. He works on your heart, your trust, your expectations, your boundaries, your peace, piece by piece. And even now, as I'm still healing, I notice different layers coming up. But instead of running from it, I'm learning to give it to God. So if you're feeling heavy and didn't understand why you might be grieving more than you realize, and that's okay. You're not broken. You're becoming aware, growing, and being restored. God is near, even in the layers. If you're in a healing season right now, I'm praying for your peace and your restoration. And just a reminder, guard your heart, protect your peace, and I'll talk to you guys soon.